Hello everyone and welcome. Today we'll be taking a look at a couple of highlight viewer submitted matches of StarCraft 2. Joining me here, the upper right corner of the map torches, a red Zerg player, the red drones of Dream Toss. An odd name for a Zerg, perhaps they were random. And in the bottom right corner, the blue Terran pieces, a lovely TVZ to start the day. It is Master. Barracks, precisely where it should be. This, though, you are not quite where you are supposed to be, my dear drone. Have you ever heard of minerals? Yes. Mineral patches. I would even accept a expansion, but I see they've already got a Natchery going up in the upper right quadrant. This is purely a scouting drone, perhaps just very concerned about Terran shenanigans. Wishing to pretend they must be a Protoss player. Okay, this is 100% Protoss type of antics. Dream Toss. A Protoss in disguise, trying to learn the ways of the Zerg to perhaps better beat the Zerg. Maybe they struggle against some of Zerg's things like lurkers. Ugh, I know, so calm down, Protoss. I said the word, I'm sorry. It's okay. Be locked outside. The supply depot won't even be finished. At least not yet. We're not a major concern. The Terran player going into an expansion, which means I think everything's actually going to be fairly calm for the first couple of minutes here. I could be wrong, but not too bad. Pool in an interesting spot, kind of a ZVZ location, personally, but yeah, I'm keen to see what's going on with this one. I was not told anything special about the replays for today, just no particular warning or theme that I was given, so I really don't quite know what to expect. We're just gonna have to learn together, find out, I suppose. Marine first, right? No Reaper in play? No Reaper in play here. Terran got their gas up and the one gas up and running. Third command center on the way. Third command center. Before factory. This is 2 barracks. Wow. That, I don't know about that. Getting the 3rd CC before the starport is standard, sure. But getting it before the factory? That's a little greedy, I think. Maybe a little much. We got double NG Bay on the way, too. Alright, it's Terran. They both... I believe they both know their stuff. They've got plans, they've got ideas, and we will have to judge and determine the quality as time goes on. A random spine crawler up at the Natchery area. 3rd hatch on the way. Slightly later than I would have done it, but I'm a rather risky 3rd hatch taker, I will admit it. I slapped that down by the 2-minute mark, if possible, okay. Die in the first 5 minutes and just blame the universe at that point. Creep connection setting up. This is a lair time before 4 minutes. Choices are being made. Drones still being produced. A few Zerglings heading across. This is a full wall, as we saw with the drone. It shouldn't, I would say, be a major issue. They've already got Marines here. The only question will be, will somebody get stuck outside on this side? It doesn't look like it. They should be fine. Wow. Every Zergling shut down. Won't even get past the wall to get any semblance of scouting. They do have the Overlord in position, which is going to be a rather massive scout, actually, and see the Terran mining out the orange, or the gold minerals there. That's a pretty solid win to know that. Because then you know, okay, this Terran is definitely up to something. I think as a Zerg, you gotta maybe mine out the minerals yourself, get to business, get to work on this right side of the map. The Terran has decided to go with a planetary fortress at the one gas gold base, which seems to be their theme, I will say. They've only taken one gas in each of their bases. They might as well just take the one gas base. Sent the Marines across. Go for the Overlords, really? Oh, you monster. Do they even have stem? No, it's just combat shields. Combat shields, Marines will find a stray roach as the Queens show up to help out with the defense. Overlords picked off a massive supply block for the Zerg, actually. 3 Queens on the way, which is about the best thing that they could have made. 5 Overlords in production, though. 4 of them will complete. The drones get to go back to work. The planetary base up and running. Gold minerals on the way. Taking a 4th as well, so I suppose buckle up, Buttercups. We definitely have a little bit of a macro game here. The production tab currently dominated by the Terran player. Zerg, I'm guessing that they're just not quite sure what they want to do with their roaches. Okay, we don't even have roach speed. We've had the lair for like 3 minutes now, maybe, roughly. Okay, that's an exaggeration. That's hyperbolic, I will admit it. They were making the lair before 4. 9 roaches on the way. Marines set up just at the edge of the creep. Zerg player is not going to be able... I was going to say not going to be able to see them, but then the Terran just kind of walked onto creep. The mule's not going to mine everything. Like, we could have just brought a couple of SCVs. Now he knows you're coming. That's okay. It'll make it more fun that way. He's gonna have to make another trip, right? Don't you have to go through all 3 patches? I'm pretty sure this... We're announcing an attack. Okay, this is even worse than when you scan right before you attack. And Terran players are very guilty of that. Okay, you scan right before you drop. You know who you are. The bonus point, I suppose, the bright side is this is a lot of Marines. Actually, 28 Marines. Do they have stem yet? They still don't have stem. Why aren't we getting stem? We're not even making anything other than Marines. Getting an armory, which feels like an unusual choice. The Marines bust through the mineral wall at long last and start to go to town against the roaches. I don't think this works, though. The roaches are just too tanky. Yeah, they're just too durable. Like... a bunch of no-stem Marines just walk through the mineral wall and get dumpstered by the roaches. I don't know about that. Like, I feel like, okay, real talk for a second here. I work in a customer service oriented role. Okay, so I feel like I get a lot of exposure to the machinations of the general public. Okay, and all of the ludicrous meanings that go along with that. People are insane. I will absolutely say that. But somehow I am still impressed regularly. Like, people just manage to top themselves consistently. I'm trying to wrap my brain around that attack. We're finally getting stem. We're getting upgrades. We're getting marauders too, which is a fantastic decision. So maybe it's like a tower defense wave. Like, I have to attack with only Marines first and then go from there. The slow Banes have magnificent connections. The Marauder group on the right side is going to be overwhelmed by the roaches, and the Zerg player, I feel like you have to be feeling pretty good about this, right? The problem is we're not taking any more bases. We've kind of just halted and forgot about economy at 56 drones. Up against the Terrans, 4 base, 53 SCVs. This is not a good setup. Holy crap, 5 more barracks on the way. We're going up to 11 racks, 1 factory, 0 starports, really? 0 starports. I am intrigued. I'm impressed with that. Okay. Well, the Zerg player finally gets the courage needed to march across the other side of the map. Zerglings and Roaches will find one of the bases down here. The Terran army also doing a bit of work up in the upper area of the map. Planetary fortress besieged and beset by horrific flyers, which quickly get distracted, sidetracked, and then remember why they walked into the kitchen. You forgot for a minute. You're like, why am I here? I don't remember. But the mutas, they quickly remembered. Zerg players scrambling to try to get up here to deal with the army forces. Terran player does have the upgrade advantage, as well as the advantage of having all of their units in one spot right now. The Roaches finally show up to the party, which means the Terran army should be dealt with rather splendidly. Mutas destroy the planetary fortress. A couple of Marines show up to help out. The Mutas, I think, should still be fine. They should be able to handle all of this. Terran player looking to be in a little bit of hot water. I take it back. Holy turret. 11 turrets. The turret count rising substantially. Suddenly. Get all the turrets, get high-sec auto-tracking, get building armor. We must mount a Gold League level defense, yes. Fantastic work. Alright, well, the Zerg player, I think, is going to make a very bad decision here and move all of their forces across the other side simultaneously without actually committing. They could get a lot of damage done. But the problem is they're losing everything at home. The Zerg player just doesn't have enough to actually deal with both the Terran army and their own indecision, which is going to come back to haunt them, I suppose. Terran army's in a really nice spot, and virtually no splash damage from the Zerg is going to make this rather hard to clean up. Rather tough to deal with. Stim goes out, the Marines hurt themselves just as much as they're hurting the Mutas. Zerg player will be fine for another attack, but has lost virtually everything. They're down to 16 drones, which says enough, I think. The Terran Marines still streaming across the other side of the map, almost going for the third base. We finally commit. Grab it. Roaches on the other side will be dealt with by the Marines. These are still 2-2 Marines, 3-3 on the way. There is no hope. The Zerg player doesn't have the money. They've lost too much economy. The drones, long distance mining instead of going to the natural that would be much closer. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me to see the accidental swarm host make a stray appearance. However, we don't have an infestation pit, which is going to make it a rather impossible possibility. Marines once again show up. Who needs factory units? Who needs medevacs? Who even needs both of their gas geysers? Okay. That gas Vespines for chums. Alright. Who needs that? We can just make more Marines. We got 11 barracks. Just turning them out as quickly as we can. The Mutas actually do find a bit of success. We'll start to pick off some of the reactors, but I don't think this really matters. The Terran player isn't really actually making anything. Oh, here they go. They're queuing up some Marines now. Gonna lose all of their SCVs, but the trade-off is the Zerg player's losing all of their everything, which is going to work out well, I suppose. Take out the gas, take out the Bane nest. They're already pressuring this hatchery, which is the last building. GG goes out. Doesn't even leave. Lets him get the building master. The Terran is going to take the match here. Through a rather, let's go with creative play. Okay, we had just the one gas per base, This must have been a one of the possibilities for the viewer challenge last month, but didn't make it into the actual challenge video. But an entertaining game nonetheless. I will say thank you for the submission. On to the next match. The second match of the day will be played on the 4v4 map Ashen Cradle here. Team number 2 shall occupy the upper right corner. The red Protoss probes. It is Destroyer. I like it. Very metal sounding. Their blue Terran ally, the SCVs of Havoc. The teal Terran command center of Great Oz. And rounding out team number 2, a purple Zerg drones of Massacre. I'm sensing a theme here. Okay, we've got Massacre, we've got Havoc, we've got Destroyer, and a Wizard, I suppose. The oddball of the bunch, but I'm sure they'll contribute more than the rest combined, because that's how spellcasters go, right? Alright, team number 1 in the bottom left, a yellow Terran player. It is Plant Liquor. Yep. Orange Zerg drones and a quick spawning pool for Goyim Hunter. Green Protoss, it is Lenoni. And finally, the final last player, the Zerg in pink here. This 4v4 contains Ashron. Ashron, huh? A bit less of a theme going on with team number 1, I will say. I think, I don't know, Plant Liquor is kind of a funny name. Like, when you get to the naming point of StarCraft, you go up, you change your name, it's a new season, it's a new you, whatever kind of BS you want to say about it, and you look at that search bar, or the name bar, and you're like, Plant Liquor. Like, I don't know, I feel like this tells me a lot about you. I don't think we would probably get along in real life settings, because I'm getting the sense that you're probably a bit much. Okay, your energy level, your tendency to just lick random plants, I don't think I'm quite on board with. I don't think I'm quite up for all of that. We have a factory for Plant Liquor here. The barracks up at the ramp here, and nobody's actually cheesing, despite the quick pool. Is it for a lair? Interesting. We've got more viewer creativity here. 4v4s are always a bit of a hot mess, though, I will say. Nothing really ever makes sense. Protoss players just build a bunch of stalkers and carriers. Terrans are like, can I just make Marines in the wrong place? Sure, absolutely. Meanwhile, Zergs struggle to survive to the point that we're making a Nidus network at 3 minutes. And an infestation pit. Swarm host? I hope it's swarm host. That would at least be mildly, effective. It could be infestors, though. I'd give it a bonus point for infestors. What's my death-focused team number 2 up to here? Havoc. Pumping out some Marines, getting factory rolling. Double factory. No. Are you teal? No, you're blue. Okay. So just one factory. Teal is going for a double factory, though. Triple. I'm sorry, that's 3 fact? Wow. Okay, teal coming in with a very intriguing build. Who goes mech in team? Get 5 factories off of 2 base? Are you nuts? It must be a battle mech. Okay, this can't be the traditional, like, I'm gonna make a bunch of siege tanks and Thors. This has to be the battle mech style. Reapers show themselves. Locusts show themselves, which I think is the more interesting aspect here. Pink, so they were going for swarm hosts. Yeah, okay. It's a swarm host play. We don't usually want to reveal the swarm hosts, though. It tends to cause some complications. The Overseer will spot for the first of the Nidus worms, yellow. Mr. Plant Licker wishes to lick the nearby flora via battlecruiser blasting. Okay, an interesting decision. Swarm hosts pour forth from the maw of the Nidus worm and unleash the worst Nidus caster things. Uh-oh, we've got something in a non-English language. That means you guys know what this means. I get to do very poorly skilled and effective translations, of course. Yes, I do know a bit of Spanish, but why would I actually use that when I can instead just translate things incorrectly? So we've got, we'll follow the battle mech here. I trust the battle mech Terran to keep things interesting. So we've got a Regla, Uchoza, Negro, Cleao, Pobre. Alright. I'm gonna go with, please. Let's see. Wait, Pobre. I mean, it could be actually something. They could have just misspelled probe, though. So, I'm gonna go with, the probe is killing. I don't know. Please arrest the sausage killing probe. There we go. Alright, I got it. Perfectly fine. No issues at all. The swarm hosts retreat back to the Nidus worm. The locusts having their time with the supply depot nearby. Siege tanks are set up, though, which means I don't think they'll have too many problems. The battlecruiser gonna have a lot more problems. Cyclones managed to destroy and decimate the battlecruiser, which is usually a solid option. Why you don't see that a whole lot in TVT. Well, some Zerglings streaming across the map here. Red, what is Red up to? Protoss. Yes, it's either stalkers or carriers, pretty much. Blue, massive pings. Teals, SCVs deleted and uninstalled from existence. Another Nidus worm coming up here. Ooh, a changeling. Wow. Pink is really making some stuff happen here. Their allies taking advantage of the time. Green is going for the other Protoss Skytoss component, which is Void Rays, of course. Oh god, Teal, actually a bit of a move command there, slight blunder. The Locust cannot hit air units, which is going to force them instead to go after the drones. Find and kill. Nidus, yes. He finds that we're spitting on it, really? Yes, Corruptors. The perfect counter to Nidus worms. Marvelous, yes. That was, I believe, the only Nidus worm actually out. Yeah, they're gonna have to make another one. They did get the swarm host back into the network, so everything's still fine. Still alive. Okay, this is a little bold of a Nidus worm. This one is starting to get a little out of hand. Havoc, wishing to cause a bit of chaos, is going to set up some Liberators, which will be met with a warped-in battlecruiser. Absolutely deal with that. Yamato. The Yamato will deal with that rather handily. The Nidus worm not even going to be used. Cyclones find that rather easily. Why not make a worm like out here, where your allies are giving you some vision? Heck no, why would we do that? Good grief, that's a lot of carriers, Batman. 8 carriers are already here. They've already arrived. Okay, they arrived, practically speaking. Carrier Tempest. We got one stray Tempest, I suppose. Greater Spire on the, we have triple Spire for purple. Massacre, looking to embrace the slaughter from the air. Battle Mech Terran still making things happen, like I mentioned, probably putting in more work than the rest of them combined. They are making some rather successful strikes here. Spinecrawler's not going to have really any success at stopping the drone barbecue time. Drone's looking to try to retreat. Scan goes out to keep vision on the cruisers. Swarm host Locust absolutely will deflect this attack. Keep things at bay. The Void Ray's moving forward now. If only they had any of their allies to actually help out. Cyclones will be able to outrun most things. The BCs make a rather smart move. Go for the Terran player who is on the other side of the map. Any help? Team? Team? Where's the Corruptors? 11 Corruptors. They're just chilling. Any day now. Yeah, that sounds about right. The Mutas and Corruptors get to the battlecruisers at almost the exact same time the Cyclones did. Players finally get here and help out, clear the battlecruiser threat. Over on the other side, the Void Rays having a tough time dealing with missile turrets, it would look like. Widow Mines. Solid connection, not quite thumbnail material, but a good one nonetheless. The Vikings will help to deal with them. The Mutas and Corruptors could outrun them. Nidus Worm is somewhere. Don't know where. We could probably find it. Oh, taking out the rocks. Can I click the worm? Oh, nope, the worm died. Very well then. Battle cruisers showing up to help out battle cruisers versus Marines. The carriers quickly for carriers. Okay. Quickly trying to get there to help out with the defense. Teal still. This is Teal's show. Okay, this one's all about Teal apparently, because everyone else is just struggling to keep Teal's base alive. Meanwhile, they're on the other side of the map, just winning the freaking game. Alright. The lair is gone, the drone's in peril. Spire erased from existence, evolution chambers devolved into nothingness. Which is just gonna cause all sorts of issues. The swarm host mount some semblance of defense, but I think it's still gonna be just too much Terran. Swarm host not quite sending out everything all at once. A lot of the Hellions died off in that, I will say. Goes for the Nidus network, a successful strike. Swarm host still alive, but now have much less travel capabilities. Double Spire on the way. Yellow's Vikings here to help out. And still, they're allies. Look at this. Look at this. If they would just send their stuff across and help their ally, they'd win the game. I don't know. Oh, we got 5 Vikings. Okay, Blue, who has no semblance of economy here, at 69 supply, is going to put in more work than the other 2. Love it. Havoc, good job. You get a bonus point, Havoc. Gold star. Now, not to compare with, I'll say, Teal's master's level star that I'm awarding for utterly carrying their team in this engagement. I guess purple and red are just trying to max out. They're just playing the Sim City type of game, I suppose. It's a Protoss thing, I will say. The Protoss player doesn't quite surprise me. Everybody's looking at this one carrier. How could you? What'd that one carrier do? I'm gonna go with probably ate somebody's lunch from the fridge. It wasn't their lunch, but they ate it anyways. The Void Rays will deflect the battle mech army for now. Is Teal continuing, committing to this? Oh, right now they're... Ooh, do we see Widow Mines? I think so. Widow Mines a solid answer to deal with the Void Rays. The carriers might actually be, I don't know, enough. 12 carriers? 29 Voids is a lot, actually. If the Void Rays can get on top of the carriers, I think they're gone. I think they're okay. Pink has decided to give up on the swarm host attacks and instead go for nowhere near enough mutas. And yet simultaneously too many mutas. Vikings, Blue's Vikings continue the trend of helping out substantially. Oh, why would you? Really? Okay. Everybody's having a tough time. Okay, StarCraft is hard. Alright. You gotta give them some credit. At least they're out here playing. Okay, when's the last time you played? Teal, clearly, I think, needs to mount another attack to try to save their team from annihilation and self-embarrassment. The Void Rays are the problem. If the Void Rays can be dealt with, 36 Voids, might I add. Upgrades? Not really. 2-0. Mostly in the attack here. Cyclones, chasing them down. Carrier Tempest from the north. Viking reinforcements here. We have our showdown. The Void Rays commit to the carriers and then quickly get scared, distracted, leaving the charged beam active. Well, that was anticlimactic. Okay. I guess they just die. RIP Plant Licker, the first to leave off to lick new plants in a faraway place. Weird, says Blue. Weird, he says. Why is it weird? Red finally woke up, hit 200 supply and is like, alright, I'm ready to play. Sends their army across. Teal, Vikings here, ready to help out. The Blue we will give the honorable mention to because they've been trying to do stuff throughout the game here. Purple, though. Purple. Purple ain't doing nothing. Okay. Purple, we weren't even sure if they were here. I was not convinced that they were actually here. They just got to 197 army supply of mostly Muta Carrier. Or Carrier. Muta Corruptor. 40 Corruptors. What? We had the Greater Spire, but no Broodlords, no attacks, which means we can just say that they kind of held down the fort. They contributed somewhat. Teal, though, good grief. You need some back pain meds, I am sure, after that one. Red finally woke up, help out, and look at that, they won the game. Well done, everyone involved. An entertaining 4v4, bit of a back and forth there, but mostly the theme of the day appears to be viewer creativity. For this crew, it was mostly in the names. I like the name, the nomenclature here. We've got destruction on one side and the tasting of flora on the other. So if you enjoyed, be sure to let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.